Welcome to the Death Battle Cast.
God.
I'm back. Chad's back.
Hey.
Torian's not back, but we got Nick. He's cool too.
And I'm fuck that guy.
And then Sam.
Hi.
Hello, guys.
We're those
Good to
people.
see you.
Hi.
It has been 2
We've
weeks
been
since
hanging
I've-
out at work all day. Don't give me this hello. Good to see you guys.
I was gonna be like, it's been 2 weeks since I've seen you guys. What have I missed off in the ether?
Not much.
Oh, okay,
like
cool.
literally nothing.
I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
same
Last
week,
week we talked about some dumb stuff, and that's about all.
Yeah, we were out in Florida at MetroCon, and then last week I was at the beach, and you were off filming a super secret project.
Yes.
So there
Super
was
Secret
that.
project. More on that later in upcoming weeks. But before we get too off track, thank you to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this episode of Death Battle Cast. You can stick around. We'll have a cool deal you can get with them later on in the show. So one thing that did happen in the past couple weeks, outside of nothing much, man, is Carnage versus Lucy was announced.
Yeah.
And
that happened,
that
yeah.
fight is, I'm super excited for this fight. Because, like,
It is shaping up well.
yes, in Carnage, okay, I know we announced this fight and plenty of people were like, what? Lucy? What? What is this matchup? And Carnage has been requested a lot with a lot of different characters for years.
Yeah, we
Years
talked
and-
last week that the biggest one is Darth Maul, which is
For some reason.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
red.
They're red.
And
They're red and bag.
Darth Maul, it was not Alex Mercer.
Alex Mercer from
yeah.
Prototype
Yeah, it
was
was Alex
requested
Mercer, yeah,
a bit. Not as much as Darth Maul, weirdly enough, even though that match does make a lot more sense.
Helsing,
But Alex Mercer
Alucard.
does have a much better request, much more popular request that a lot of people, I think, would rather see him in. So maybe we'll save him for that. But Chad, you've been a fan of Carnage for a long time, and you've been a big proponent for bringing Carnage into Death Battle.
Yeah, Ben and I,
right?
whenever we're talking about like our next season, I'm always like, can we do Carnage this year? But like, who will Carnage fight? Because we've had all these, like you said, there's a lot of different suggestions, and literally this came about. This is one of the. You remember we're like we go like 98% by suggestions, but sometimes we'll just do one that we think would be cool or makes sense.
Fox
we want to
versus
do.
Bucky O'Hare
Fox
is
versus
probably
Bucky
the
O'Hare.
biggest, most popular one of
Yeah.
those kinds of episodes. We like to bring in characters that maybe people don't necessarily recognize, and they get introduced to them. Some of the favorite conversations I ever have with like fans of the show at places like MetroCon is, I didn't know about this character. Afro Samurai actually is one that a lot of people mention. I didn't know much about Afro Samurai, but after watching the Death Battle, kind of want to go check it out now.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Or
say
I've got
that.
a lot of people like I then got into the series and like
Yeah.
I really dig it. But so this one we were literally just sitting at our desks and we brought up the Carnage discussion again, and then
Once
I just
again.
was like, what about Lucy from Elfen Lied? And everyone was like,
I think we were throwing out all sorts of random ideas like Green Lantern or something,
yeah.
or a Red Lantern or something, because they form things out of their hands or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay.
I still
don't
want
know
Alfred
about that
Pennyworth versus Aunt May. I want that so bad.
But specifically
you
with superpowers.
Yeah, you want
They
you
have
want,
superpowers.
you want Superman Pill Alfred versus the Golden Oldie.
We did a Desco on that
Yeah,
ages ago,
yeah.
didn't we?
3 years ago, probably,
Yeah.
something like that.
See, I was pitching that idea because I always thought it'd be funny to have an old people fight. But like, but then as
we
we
never
looked into
had
it a
that?
little bit,
We've never had two old people.
No, I mean
Not yet.
not
Sam.
really. But like, it would have been funny because like it starts off as comedic as you'd expect, but then there's a twist halfway through where it's just like,
Super badass.
yeah, it's just like they're throwing planets at each other or something like that.
Alfred pops that
I've
pill
always
and-
wanted that. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be, God, that could be freaking crazy. And we love doing those crazy fights. Like, again, the majority of this season is from the top 10% of that form. That is linked below every single video we post on YouTube, where you can request Death Battle matchups. And yeah, like Samurai Jack versus Afro was a big request for a long time.
Yep.
Sora versus Pit. A lot of the episodes we've done this year. But we got to fit in a couple weird ones every so often, right? That's
Yeah.
part of what makes Death Battle Death Battle.
And like honestly, like I don't think we'd ever had the talk about using Lucy or anyone from Elfen Lied ever until literally I just was like, what about her? And then now it's happening.
There are
Coming up
some
ages
matchups.
ago, but-
There are some matchups that people say, have requested with Lucy, but I feel like a lot of those people have only seen the anime and
not
not
the
read into
manga.
the manga because she gets fucking crazy in the manga.
Yep.
Things go batshit insane in the last like arc of that
Yeah.
of that story. So we've been checking out the animation by a bunch of our animators. Luis has been working on it. Zach. Curvin, Hyperjerk, who usually just helps us with sprite work, has been doing some animation for this as well, which is awesome. So these 4 guys, along with Brandon on music, have been putting together like a really interesting fight, something that we haven't really done in Death Battle, like a creepy kind of thing. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. I don't want to talk about it too much more because it'll start spoiling things, but we're really hyped for it.
Yep.
So I hope you guys are too.
Yep, but just heads up, if you are going to go look up Elfin Lead and be like, oh, look, it's like a cutesy anime girl.
Oh, there's too many titties. Don't do it. Dude, oh my God. Even today with Noelle, looking through footage, because obviously we have to put footage into the video of the show. And it's like we're in an office environment with literally hundreds of people, and it's just like, there's some titties on your screen, and this is awkward. Let's just not talk. Let's just stop this.
That and just wanton violence. Like, oh my God.
A lot of killing. Yeah, a lot of killing and gore.
There's a scene in Elfin Lead that is just, I think everybody has that one scene in that show where they just have a hard time watching it.
Is it the secretary?
No, I
okay.
thought the secretary scene was kind of awesome, actually.
What?
But there's the scene where she's fighting, what's her name, Nana?
Oh, that one's really
she's
brutal.
Just tearing her apart piece by piece, limb
Yeah.
by limb. And I'm like, oh, this is really, and you see the bone in the finger. It's like, this is really uncomfortable. That's like a little girl getting her arms torn off. I don't know about this.
Yeah, or the dog. I mean, there's a lot. But dude, for me, I remember it was episode 1. Nick hasn't seen any of this.
I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
We should just pull up. Okay, so we're doing the post show. We'll pull up the first episode of Elfin Lead and let Nick watch it.
Can we show
that-
titties?
Probably.
The first episode
Post-show.
isn't super
It's a bit much.
uncomfortable
Nick,
per se.
it
It's
might
just
be a bit
kind of
much.
crazy.
Well, the secretary thing in the first.
I guess.
I
thought it was cool. So.
But it's just she's so nice and happy, and then that happens, and you're like, oh Jesus.
They do have kind of a build up to it, which makes you kind of feel for her. But yeah. Anyway, if you are into weird, creepy shit,
I think
you can watch Elfin Lead.
out of shows that have probably generated the most confused boners, Elfin Lead is probably up there in confused boners. I think they honestly thought about that when they were making it. They were like, how about we do the boobs, but then ultra violence? And it's like, okay, sure, fuck it, let's just do that. I don't know.
I guess so. I guess so. So if that's your jam, go check out Elfin Lead. If not, Carnage is cool too. You can go check out Spider-Man. That's a much safer option.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we got plenty of stuff to talk about today, but there was a question, actually, I think this comes from Twitter, that I thought would be fun to talk about. This comes from Thomas J. Thomas, fun name, and he asks, did you ever imagine as a kid that you would that you would end up working on a show and would study different characters like you do now?
Oh,
If
yes.
not,
I think we all did.
It wasn't a thing before. We didn't. No, I didn't imagine there would be this option ever.
Yeah. But then, what did you expect to happen when you were a kid? What did you think you would grow up to be, basically?
When I was 5, I wanted to grow up and be a Ninja Turtle.
A Ninja Turtle. That's what
That can still happen, Nick.
Oh, can it?
You can.
I mean, dude, people
follow your dreams.
They were surgery's come a long way, Nick. You could morph yourself into a Ninja Turtle if that's what you want.
And we're gonna hit some touchy ground here, but I'm pretty sure you're allowed to identify as pretty much anything. And I think Ninja Turtle is well within the realm. If you truly want to, I don't see why
Who's to
people
tell me I'm wrong?
Yeah, well,
right?
Why would somebody stand in your way? Let people be whoever they want to be, and if that's a fucking Ninja Turtle, shit, dog, I support it.
Yeah, Nick, we
wear
will
your shell,
support-
whatever. I don't care.
We will support your turtle transition.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
I
God.
hear it's slow one though.
This is
but-
terrible.
Not if they're ninjas.
Oh yeah, that's fair. It's a slow and sneaky one.
Yeah, you're not even aware it's
Yeah.
happening.
All of a sudden, boom, Ninja Turtle.
He's wearing green.
Yeah.
It's begun.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
I
okay,
just
so
want to
Ninja
see
Turtle.
you go home. Sorry, Chad. I just want to see you just kick the door open and announce to your wife, "I am a Ninja Turtle." I thought that's hilarious.
Put on a mask and wear this
You're be
Roshi shell.
Yes, sure.
Listen, you
If you
remember
love
those?
me, you'll support me in this.
You remember those vows you spoke? Get ready to test them
For richer, for poorer, for turtler, or human. I don't know.
for turtle.
I love that it's just
Turtler?
it's only been a month or whatever after the wedding. It's like, honey,
Yeah.
everything's changing.
God, I hope
A
you
month
like
and a half.
Nick, you need to come to the next cast you're on in a
what's
full
our-
Ninja Turtle outfit. This
Okay.
has to happen
All right.
now.
All right.
What's the next question? What
No,
are we doing
we
now?
didn't even answer.
No,
for everybody
everybody's
else.
got to answer. The only one who
Whoa.
answers is Nick, and he wants to be a Ninja Turtle.
When I was 5.
Yeah.
I mean, the answer, the question is
youngest-
about when you were a kid, so.
The youngest thought I can remember having on this exact subject was a chemist, only because I was playing Final Fantasy Tactics and the chemist class could use guns. So, like, my thought process was very flawed at this point in time. So, you know, that's...
Wait,
I'll be a chemist so that I can use guns.
so I can shoot the chemicals together.
Okay. I remember really wanting to, like, this is weird, but I remember.
Hold on a second. Can you imagine Sam as a
Never mind
chemist
that.
now? I'm sorry. That's
Sam as a
Just like
chemist.
mixing stuff with my gat.
He's just
like knowing everything
beakers.
you know about Sam
Wait,
today.
Guns.
I'm sorry. It just dawned on me
Sam
how
as a
ridiculous
chemist,
that is.
but with guns?
or just even as a regular
imagine
chemist.
Sam trying to explain like a new compound he created. Be like, yo, oh my God, this thing cures cancer. How'd you make it? Oh, you know, I just took some of the blue shit and I threw in some of the red shit and like it made this like fizzle stuff and then bam, no cancer.
That's pretty
Like,
much
that's
spot on.
Pretty accurate.
You be fucking with goops of different colors and then you get a new one. Even goopier.
Oh, and you stir it with a Glock.
Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah. You gotta do some thug shit. That's how new stuff happens.
I didn't
we
mean
are.
to cut you off, Ben. I just
That's
Well, now there's no way that I'm gonna beat that.
That's fine. What is
like
your
not a
mine was just. I was just.
Ben's gonna be
say,
serious.
I
Not
know
a
as a
competition.
kid, I was always disappointed in like toy design, so I wanted to grow up to just design toys.
That seems reasonable.
Like
So
that
he
was it.
just, I pictured a little Ben just being like, they got this wrong.
Exactly.
like,
I would
opposable
get, like, an
thumb my
action
ass.
figure.
Like,
Well, you know those action figures that like the it wasn't very articulated, so one
Yeah.
character would always have an arm like this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or like that, or it's in some weird pose, and I'd always look at that and be like, I don't want it in this pose. I want the arm to be like the other one, or to be movable or whatever. Nowadays, they're way more articulated in kids'
Yeah.
action figures, but back then it wasn't like that. So that's the earliest thing I can remember. But when I was like 10, that's when I decided I want to get into film and video making. So didn't really have anything past that.
when I was like really little, I don't know, I probably went through like the generic like, I want to be like an astronaut or I want to be a policeman or something like that.
Everybody wants to be an astronaut at some point, I think.
Yeah.
space is awesome.
But then when I was like,
until you're actually in it.
there's a caption, space, it's awesome until you're actually there.
And you're suffocating and
yeah.
stuff.
No, but then like
Wow.
I got into skating a lot, and then I kind of thought that was where I was gonna go for a while, because back in the day, Sam and I used to be sponsored, so it was like we'd go to
Could
competitions.
you
and
imagine
everything.
being a professional athlete still? I don't know.
Dude,
if I
I'd be in
would.
pain, man. Like,
I don't know if there's. I mean, I know there are for skateboarders. There's a lot of people that like turned their brand into something, sustainable.
right.
But I don't know if they're still like professionally competing.
It would be interesting to like. I would love to watch a documentary on like pro skaters that didn't turn their like name into a brand like Tony Hawk or like those guys, and like they were winning all these competitions. Like that was it. But eventually, like, yeah, you're gonna get older, like, and shit's gonna hurt, like, and like you're eventually gonna get slower.
There was a time that I really wanted to be, probably the thing right before I decided I'm going into this video making thing, was I really wanted to do basketball as a career. I was really into basketball.
Oh, really?
And then I hit 5'8" and stopped growing. That dream died pretty quick. So-
Oh, that's a rough sport. Like you really can't be messing around unless you're tall or what was it, Scottie Pippen? He's short,
Yeah.
but
Dude,
there's a few, and they're
Yeah.
it's only because they're exceptional.
for me and like the skating thing, like, we would go do competitions and stuff, but like I just loved skating. Like it was like the most fun thing I'd ever experienced. So like, we would skate like 10 hours a day, like every day. And when the more I got into like the competition aspect and stuff, it was just like, it's not as fun, and
No,
like
it's fun.
it was kind of taking away some of the fun from skating. So that's when I kind of was like, maybe this isn't what I want to do, because like I don't want to just do this for competition. I just want to be able to do it. And then I got a job at Blockbuster after that.
we had a whole episode.
that's right.
Blockbuster. Go check that out after this. All right. Well, that's a good question, Thomas. Jade Thomas. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, guess what?
What?
Chad?
You gotta shave.
That's true. Just like we're shaving off the end of that segment. But it can be so much more. I don't know.
You try.
I really did.
Just shave yourself now.
So,
Dunked.
well, listen. If you ever shower or brush your teeth or try to make your hair look presentable,
I do those things from time to time.
I would hope so. I got news for you. Dollar Shave Club has a lot of stuff to help you out. Dollar Shave Club, yes, that Dollar Shave Club. We've talked about it a whole bunch. They've been a longtime sponsor of the show. Delivers everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best. You name it. A shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toothpaste, hair gel, even a wipe that will leave your tushy feeling tingly clean. Ben got to test those out. He's a big proponent of the
Pretty
One Wipe
nice.
Charlies.
They're pretty good.
Personally, I'm a big fan of their amber and lavender calming body cleanser, and then also I've been using their I think it's sage and black pepper. I don't want to get it wrong, but their shampoo, like, stuff's real good. So listen, basically, good luck finding a product like these at the store. All of Dollar Shave Club's products are made with top shelf ingredients that won't break your budget. You'll feel the difference. Plus, shipping is free with your membership. Also, personally, I hate going to the store and going shopping. Like, so, you got to do it for some stuff, but like, if I can minimize that time, I'm happy. So the great thing is Dollar Shave Club delivers it right to your door. So here's a great way to try a bunch of Dollar Shave Club's products. For just $5, you can get their daily essential starter set. It comes with body cleanser, One Wipe Charlies, their amazing butt wipes, which is the One Wipe Charlies, but I delivered that incorrectly. Their world famous shave butter, and their razor, the 6-blade executive. Keep the blades coming for a few more bucks a month. Add in shampoo, toothpaste, or anything else you need. Check it all out at dollarshaveclub.com/cast. That's dollarshaveclub.com/cast. Seriously, there's a bunch of stuff. Go check it out and try it.
All right. Good to know.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dollar Shave Club.
Yes. Without Dollar Shave Club and sponsors like them, it'd be hard to keep the show running. It's like we have so much stuff and manpower goes into making Death Battle Cast the way it is. So we appreciate that. And,
Yes.
We definitely appreciate it when you guys, use those codes and go to our sponsors because, going to them helps us too. So
Like,
thank you.
if we could just go to the broadcast camera real quick.
Yes. See all those people back there.
There we go.
Check them out. Hey guys.
Dollar Shave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got an applause from our live audience of 3 people.
Dude, don't break the magic. There's like 50 of them
Oh yeah,
out
there's
there.
like 112. Yeah,
Totally.
that's what it is. Anyway, it's time to find out what's
Damn it.
going on. All right.
What's going on, Ben?
So there's 2 topics I want to cover today. One of them is super serious, and one of them is super silly.
Okay.
So what do you want to start with?
Start with serious so we can end on silly.
So the serious one is James Gunn. And 2 weeks ago, I believe the
Yeah.
show covered
Sam
a little
had
bit
some
of
words.
the James Gunn situation.
I had some words. Yeah.
Real
Chad
quick.
and I weren't on the show.
We
I
weren't.
defended one of his tweets and then didn't the other.
I do just want to say that it is unacceptable that our little progress bar doesn't say under the gun.
Oh,
I'm
that was
really
good.
not okay with that.
God damn it, Gerard.
Gerardo is like. Gerardo just yelled at Ben. I told you to do it.
Do what?
To do under the gun? All right.
Okay. Anyway,
Or at gunpoint.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
that might be a little. Anyway.
Dark.
Or it just
So-
says a chemist.
All right.
They use guns.
Deal with James Gunn. If you don't know by now, basically some very offensive tweets were uncovered from 7 to 8. I think the oldest one was like 12 years ago, and used to basically create a bit of outrage that Disney responded to by immediately firing him from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and all projects that he's working on with them. So he's no longer part of Disney, no longer part of Marvel. And it all happened very fast.
Yep.
And it was while we were at MetroCon.
Yep.
So I just, at one point randomly, I was looking at Twitter just for like between events or whatnot and saw James Gunn trending. I was like, oh no, what happened?
Yep.
Because it's always something.
So it's either misconduct
It's never.
or
Always
Nobody's ever trending because they're just out there killing it.
Every so often-
he could have pulled a boy out of a burning car. Would not trend.
Yeah,
Every so often it's a birthday.
Yeah. So
Every so often it's a birthday. But
no-
outside of that,
But it's never like overwhelming positivity and moral standard. Like
Yeah.
nobody gets recognized for that.
really unfortunate. But so, if you don't know the full story, I'm not gonna like go through the whole thing right now because it's everybody's been talking about it for 2 weeks.
There were some offensive
did a
tweets
couple
that he made when he was much
Yeah.
younger.
And some of the tweets are just impossible to defend. Like
Yeah.
there's some
Yeah, yeah.
really, really bad shit. Some like pedophilic stuff, which
Yeah.
is
One of them's
Yeah.
pretty fucking awful. Yeah.
yeah. Some of them may have been a little overblown in terms of like.
Like the Giving Tree. That
Yeah.
tweet is insane.
I liked how you brought up like the kid's actually an adult at the end, so
Yes, and if a tree wants to jerk an adult person off, America,
It's so bad.
Presumably.
It's so bad.
He can identify as a Ninja Turtle.
Yep.
That tree, the sentient tree, can jerk a dude off. Like, it's adults doing stuff. Like, just leave them alone.
So, oh God, that's such a terrible joke.
Branch to
But
branch.
that is the point. That is what he was trying to do, make a terrible joke. And since then, just
He was a
recently-
trauma director, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I was going to bring
yeah,
that
so.
up. The cast of Guardians has come out with a statement basically saying that they support James Gunn and they really want Disney to reconsider and bring him back.
And they support his apology. Most of it was like, they don't support the actions from previously. They support his, like, the way they wanted to give it
The way he's changed.
the way, I think they tied it to the apology. The way that he's behaved during this controversy is reflecting of how he behaved to them the entire time on set.
How he's changed
Yeah.
his
How he's just, yes, a totally different person.
Which I do have to say, the way James Gunn has handled this is very admirable.
Yeah.
He's been very positive about it, been very like accepting of it. Posted some stuff about like how he is willing to accept what, you know, the consequences of what he did in the past.
Yeah.
So he hasn't like raged about it or caused any more controversy out of it. The controversy has come from other people talking about it, which is interesting when you think about it. But like, what did you guys think about that in particular?
I think he should be fired because you should be held accountable for your actions, but I don't think that should bar him from ever working again because you need to give people a chance to change. You can't
Sam-
just be like, they're shitty once, fuck them forever. Like,
Sam, imagine if I went and found our old AIM logs. And like,
oh yeah, no, but that's the thing. Like, there is
Now that's
also a
on public
difference.
record.
There is also a difference between shit people said when they were 14 and shit people said when they were 34. Like,
Okay, that's true.
James Gunn, it wasn't like James Gunn was a teenager.
That's true.
James Gunn was a fully fucking grown adult who had held multiple, like, serious jobs. He had been a director already. He'd done all this shit.
I mean,
Not
trauma
like-
though, like,
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like, and trust me, like, I get the value of a shock joke. Like, and I would love to make much more horrible jokes publicly than I already do. But I don't because I'm not a fucking moron, okay? And I like my job and I don't want to get fired for saying some dumb shit. I know that's a likely possibility one day, but still, like, I don't know. And like, but that's the thing. I think he should just like, yeah, you have some consequences for saying this terrible shit, but that doesn't mean you should never work again.
right.
You should be able to show that you can change and become a better person. Like, everyone is gonna fuck up and say some dumb shit and be a terrible person occasionally. Give them a chance to be better later.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is what makes this extra hard is that it's not just, like, in the broader sense, they're not just punishing him. Because a lot of people can view it as that it's also punishing all of the fans of Guardians, right? Because he's done a fantastic job. Like, Guardians.
No, it's not like they're
Probably
not
might-
gonna make another one.
Yeah, but it's not that. But I mean, like,
They like it in James Gunn's
they
hands.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I see that, but
Well, we all know that Sam doesn't go see movies.
yeah.
So
And like also, I think I might have a different opinion if I was really attached to that franchise, you know.
Right.
But I'm not. So.
But
I don't know.
I mean, it's reasonable to say like, yeah, he should be held accountable, especially since he is an adult in the industry when he was making these comments. I do think that there is a line to be drawn, though. Like, a lot of people compare this to the Roseanne controversy that just happened recently, but there is a difference where Roseanne made that horribly racist tweet while she was working with ABC. So of course ABC needs to react to that and firing her and canceling the show.
Also, there's a
It does
type
make
of-
sense in that regard.
There's also a type of person where I think James Gunn doesn't have the track record to see, like, he wouldn't do any of those things.
Sure. Well,
He just likes the shock value. Roseanne is kind of just seems like I can't know for sure, but it just seems like she's a shitty person. So there's a bit different.
I mean, that might, like, I'm trying to look at it from a more objective, like, perspective. Like,
Yeah.
Just logically, you know, Gunn's tweets came much before, like,
Yeah,
before
yeah.
the Disney stuff. Like, they had to have known what kind of person he was before
I mean, it's Expendables 1. That was like 2007 or some shit.
Yeah.
It's probably a decade old almost.
Like, part of the reason why Guardians was such a fascinating movie was because there was so much risk involved, and part of that
Yeah.
risk was bringing somebody like James Gunn onto it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody expected them to bring somebody like that onto one of their projects. They're generally safe projects, but they did.
Yeah.
And it worked out great. So there's no way they didn't know, but maybe they
Well,
didn't know
yeah,
about those
in-
specific tweets.
I've seen the argument for we need to be willing to take chances on artistic people that are willing to, like, swing wide. Like, you have to take that
But
shot.
also you say, oh, they didn't know about those tweets. Bullshit. Like, it's Disney, dude. Like, they're gonna vet people. They're gonna dig through shit. Also, again,
Maybe. I mean,
if
I
they,
don't know. I think
they
if they-
know that he worked on trauma shit.
Yeah,
like,
but I
that
think-
is,
Yeah.
there's some
they knew that. I'm
awful
saying
stuff.
the
Yeah.
specific tweets, maybe not. Like, let me look at how many tweets he has. Yeah, he has 20,000 tweets. So
You don't think they set, like, interns or
I
people to,
think if
like,
they
go
set-
aggregate
I think if
some
they
shit?
set interns or something to read through all those and they saw them, they would have had him go through and delete those before he ever was a part of
Yeah.
Disney.
8 years ago, no. Maybe nowadays this is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, especially since this
That's true. I'll give you that.
happened,
Yeah,
like,
in
Disney
2010.
did have to fold, or at least they felt like they had to fold, which leads me to something that does kind of border on speculation. I personally believe that this was a specifically timed attack on
Oh,
Gunn.
now we're getting a little conspiracy.
Because
What's up with this shit?
Gunn is a very vocal leftist and anti-Trump person on Twitter, in
Yeah.
public, forums and stuff like that. He has very much made a name for himself as an extreme, as one of the far left kind of like representatives.
Yeah, he's not gunshot.
Hashtag resist, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So, and whether or not you agree with that, any of us agree with that doesn't really matter in terms of this conversation. So, because I don't want this to feel like it's a political show or anything like that. We're not here to talk about like whether or
Let
not
me
he's right.
tell you about, no, I'm just kidding.
But he has obviously developed some enemies from this, and then all of a sudden, these tweets come up literally like a week before Disney and Fox have their shareholder meeting, which is all about whether or not they're going to merge. And I feel like it would have been a little awkward if they went into that meeting with the James Gunn thing as still a hot topic and they hadn't done anything. So it feels like to
that
me,
seems like, I mean, I could see that, but that seems like a little bit of a
I mean, he
wild-
said it
like
was
a
tinfoil hat time.
Yeah,
that's why it's a little
yeah.
speculative, but the
Yeah, yeah,
timing
yeah.
just seems, because like the guys who brought this up were definitely far right, kind of people, and this is
Yeah.
like extreme parts of the political spectrum going at it. But it just seems like really convenient timing to me. Like Disney had their hand forced, basically. They had to do something, and they couldn't like wait to figure out what the best solution would be. So they just fired him. And maybe there's something else going on there. Maybe they've been looking for a reason to fire him because it did seem really quick. But maybe something else happened. I don't know. But it just seems, it seems like there's something else going on here. So
Yeah. I feel like the cast backing him up does have quite a bit of weight to it, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
although
Especially in today's age, like if anyone in the cast would have said he had done anything inappropriate at any time, that would have been like a nail in the coffin. But to have that much of the cast come and be like, "Nah, he's good. Like he
Yeah.
just had shitty judgment a
Right.
while ago."
And like that's when this type of stuff comes out. Like when somebody cuts under fire about some other thing, that's when everybody's like, "Oh, and also."
Yeah.
And there hasn't really been any of that. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
yeah. I know Chris Pratt has specifically said that he wants him back for Guardians 3. I don't think that's possible. Like,
No,
I would be very
I think
surprised.
you have to take some sort of burn for this one. Like, sorry, you.
Maybe they'll let him consult.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he wrote the script. They
Yeah.
might still stick with the script. I don't know. It'll be weird seeing what happens with this going forward and whether or not we see, if this was a directed attack, if
They
we see
should-
repeats.
Not that they.
I mean, there kind
could,
of was.
but
Dan Hammond kind of had a thing going on for a little while, but that was shut down pretty quick.
What's that?
I would.
Another pedo thing
Yeah.
about his jokes or whatnot.
I would be pretty legitimately thrilled if somehow they could convince Edgar Wright to do it. I think he would just
After
would
the
great-
shenanigans with Ant-Man,
Yeah, but I think he would just crush Guardians of the Galaxy.
he probably would.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Or, God damn, why am I blanking on who did
Just give it to
Ragnarok?
Abrams does
Taika
everything.
Waititi.
Yeah. Abrams is too safe. You need somebody a little wild
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make Guardians work.
Yeah, man, Abrams, like, the more I watch Abrams stuff, like, he's just so. Like, if you need a 9 out of 10, call up Abrams.
Yep. That's pretty much
Like,
it.
you're never gonna get that 10, but fuck, those 9s are amazing. Like, it's like, that's just like you get Abrams, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yep.
Might not be the best thing ever, but it's gonna crush. Like,
You'll have fun
what he
watching
does.
it, even if it's the
yeah,
worst
it's
shit
what
ever.
he does.
Yeah.
He's just like, he gives you this 9 out of 10.
You want to restore a beloved franchise and not piss people off? Abrams.
But speaking of maybe fun to watch while also being the worst shit ever, did you guys see that Venom trailer?
I don't. Do people have problems with it?
I think it looks really silly, but that's kind of what they're going for.
Well, I think a lot
Yeah.
of people feel that because they ended it on that like little silly
no.
dialogue.
The
between
shot where like the face comes out of him and is looking at him, it's just like this tentacle head, like, yo, look at my eyes. I'm like, okay, that shit's silly looking. But like
They
that's
do
the
that in
point.
the comics though.
I know.
Okay.
Like, it's just like the first part of the trailer is very much like grounded and realistic and like, oh, this is gonna be like a scary horror movie. But then the head pops out and is like, hello, I'm gonna talk to you now.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So they're going for this like kind of black comedy thing. Okay.
I
That'll
didn't see
work.
that as
Dude.
comedic necessarily.
It just
but-
looks
The
silly.
weird thing for me was when they had the guy in the room from Independence Day, which is coming up here soon. And then like, you know, they have like the test dude and they leave him there with the symbiote and they're all like checking him out. You notice like the first thing it did was just grab his ass?
Oh yeah.
It was really awkward.
couldn't tell
was
if that
like,
was
and
his
then he's like,
first
oh,
thought,
and I'm
but-
like, oh, don't tell me the symbiote chose that route of entry. Like, I really,
Oh, no.
like, that's what it looked like to me. They're gonna do it here in a second.
Every symbiote
Well-
has to come into the body some way. I mean,
Right, now it's like this guy,
they
he's
flubber
like,
it.
what's
This
gonna
poor
happen? Watch the
dude.
first place it goes. It's like, oh yeah, let me find an orifice right there. See? And then they cut, and then
I
I'm
mean,
like,
it's
oh
just
no.
crawling up him, and that's the angle he's at.
But they cut right as it got to
it
the.
does look like it
there-
stops and latches
Yes.
onto his butt.
Yeah.
So-
Do you guys remember the last trailer? The controversy that came from that is when they called it a symbiote the whole
Yeah.
time. They made sure to replay that line corrected in this one. They say symbiote this time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like a
they
normal
did.
person.
I totally
They said
forgot about that.
symbiote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
what
everyone's
I
like,
had a bunch of-
symbiote?
Yeah, people
what are
had
these
memes about it and
peons
stuff.
calling it symbiote?
Yeah, it's they said it really bad.
Yeah, it just sounded really strange.
It was like symbiotes, like a
Because
cereal. Yeah.
symbiotic is
Yeah.
what they were going for, but like,
Yeah.
it's not
But-
really how that word works.
It's
I
still
mean,
it
Venom looks
fun.
awesome.
In
They
motion, yeah,
got
he looks
all of
yeah.
Venom's
pretty cool.
kids, so whatever. Like it looks.
Yeah,
fun.
it is kind of weird how in motion he looks awesome, but if you just look at like a still, it does look kind of weird.
Okay, I guess it's just, he definitely looks very CG. Like at least from what they've seen,
Which
I
I think
realize
is
there's
a-
not a practical effect you could use to do
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff, but
I think
it
CG's kind of
feels-
fine since Venom's supposed to look so.
Gooey.
Yeah.
So we had talked about this before, and we had mentioned like before we knew anything about the movie, and it was just announced. We talked about whether or not Carnage was going to be in it,
I want a car.
and whether or not there would even be other symbiotes. So it turns out there's going to be a lot of them, because
Yeah.
the story is about what the heck is that laboratory
Phage,
called?
It's the
Something or another.
life.
Life Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the comics, Life Foundation rips Venom apart to create an army of 5 symbiotes.
Yeah.
And one of them is at the end of this. It shows a battle between Venom and Riot.
Well, you see a couple of them.
in this part
Yeah,
right here,
the lady.
was a
The
little
lady
weird
is
name.
either Phage or Scream. I
Did-
can't remember which one's which.
in this scene right here, did Venom say something like calling him a turd?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
he calls
yes.
him
Bird on the breeze or on
Yes.
the wind or something like
Yeah.
that.
It's like he's gonna eat his arms and eat his legs, then eat his face, and then let you drift through
Like,
the
roll
world
down the
like
street.
a turd.
An armless,
Roll down-
legless husk rolling down the street
like a turd
on the wind.
It's really weird.
But-
They're trying to do that. They're trying
What
to get
world
on
do
that
you-
humor thing. That
What world do you live in where turds blow around in the wind?
Yeah.
he's a symbiote. Okay, he's not the most down with Earth language.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's got
Sure.
it's like a head. It's-
I feel a little like weird about it because like in the first spot I was like, okay, Tom Hardy, I don't think you could have done better. Like that's probably the
Yeah.
absolute best casting for Eddie Brock. But now it seems like he's trying to be a little funny.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't think Tom Hardy needs to be a little funny. Like, can we just get him being really mean
What's the
and
most
like
comedic
quiet?
role Tom Hardy's ever had? Bane from The Dark Knight Rises?
I was gonna say no, it's probably the one
What a
about the
lovely, lovely
insane
voice.
like Britain's Most Dangerous Man. Anyone know that he did a movie where he played that guy? And it's literally he's
oh yeah,
like
that
a,
one.
yes.
He's like a
That guy.
insane, hyper violent murderer. But it's pretty. He has a couple jokes.
I don't know. They're just trying to cash in on that humor
his
that
dick
does
a
so
lot in
well
that
with a lot of
movie,
these
let me
like
tell ya.
Marvel movies. So like,
I guess.
Yeah, but it's Venom though. Venom's
Right,
one of those
Venom
things where you
should be.
don't go there for humor. It's like
Yeah, you do. Venom's a silly character. He's always cracking jokes. Not as much as like somebody like Deadpool or
like
whatever.
well, not so much jokes, but just like
He's a psychopath.
he's being
and
creepy and
shit,
psychopathic. Yeah.
but he cracks jokes. Not Deadpool, sorry. Venom does crack a lot of jokes. Like, that's why at the end of our death battle with him, he does a pop goes the weasel joke. Like he's a very lighthearted character who also happens to eat people, which is like a weird mix. Which is why when they show both of those things in the trailer, it's like, is this supposed to be taken seriously? Probably not. So that's why I'm saying I think the movie's probably going to be kind of shitty, but still fun to watch anyway. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
That's what I get from
I'm
the trailer.
keeping an
at
open
least.
mind.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not a fan of having like a million symbiotes running at each other, and the fight with Riot just reminds me of like, oh, remember Incredible Hulk where he just fought another Hulk? Remember Iron Man where he just fought another Iron Man? Pretty sure we've seen this before.
You remember Logan? Where he fought
Yeah, but there was a
literally
purpose to
another.
that.
I know.
There was a much better purpose
I just
behind
wanted
it.
a better villain. I didn't want another.
But
Everything else about that movie
I don't
was
know.
great.
Maybe it'll be awesome. We'll see. We'll see. But it's definitely piqued my interest a lot more than the past little teasers have. So.
But yeah, it definitely does seem like with the symbiotes reproducing, that Carnage is a likely next one.
Have you heard who's probably playing Carnage?
Who?
Woody Harrelson is rumored.
Oh yeah.
So
I saw
he was
that.
rumored to be Carnage,
Interesting.
and then he was confirmed for the role, and he has a quote that's like, yeah, I have a small bit, but then I'm going to be in the next one. So everybody's like, okay, you're going to be Carnage. Like one of the symbiotes is going to become Carnage and merge with him, and then he'll be the villain in the next one. Or something.
Who was it who played Rorschach in Watchmen?
Jackie Earl Haley.
That's kind of who I picture Cletus as. Like,
I think Woody would be good for it. I think he could totally pull it off.
he just looks. He's just really
looks like a
old now, and he
Cletus, yeah.
looks too wholesome. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess.
Looks wholesome. You can make him look all.
I
sorts
know,
of
I
shitty,
know, I
like,
know, I know.
all sorts of fucked up.
I know.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
I don't know.
I think he could totally pull off that just like crazy look.
I'm sure he'll do a pretty good job, but
Did you
might have been
see?
able to do better.
Did you see War for the Planet of the Apes?
Yes.
Woody Harrelson was a pretty good bad guy in that.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought.
true. He was. All right.
Not the
see.
Carnage kind, but
My only thing with Woody
I think he'll
Harrelson
pull
is
it
he does seem a little too old to be Cletus Cassidy as a character, but it doesn't really matter.
Cletus has like never looked young though. Even when he's young, he's all fucked up like he snorted a bunch of coke.
Well, yeah, but he looks
Literally a
like
year.
20-year-old meth head, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
You can
so
make Woody Harrelson look like a 20-year-old meth head. I think they could totally pull it off.
maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Also, he does have a full head of hair,
Yes.
like in like everything. Woody Harrelson, not so much.
put a wig on.
Again,
Wait,
you can.
you can
Amazing
do
what
anything.
you can do with
The magic
technology.
of movie making. All right. It's time for the community death battle. So this is a fun one,
The
I
purple
guess.
people.
It's Big the Cat versus Waluigi.
Yep. All right. Let's get into it. This is a request. I don't have it written down here, but I remember seeing this request on Twitter and thinking like, that'll be a stupid one to talk about. Let's do it. All right. So we've got some answers from you guys because you can always use the hashtag DeathBattleCast to send us answers for the community death battle. And we've got one from Nicholas Schaefer for Big the Cat. And he says, Big the Cat routinely casts his fishing line so hard that he makes robots explode with just a lure. I didn't even think about that. He body slams enemies in close combat and can effortlessly lift a car over his head and fought a water demon without even flinching. Definitely big.
Interesting.
All right, that's a pretty solid argument, I'd say.
Is there not an explosive tipped fishing lure?
No,
Is that not a possibility?
It's a normal lure that he uses to fish. And then he can also turn around and whack robots with it.
That being said, an explosive fishing lure,
There you go. That's how you do it. And when it bobs, it just explodes.
you get a lot more fish that way.
Fish pop
Yeah.
fly out of those.
You get the whole school of fish.
All right, and for Waluigi, we got one from
It's like
the
only time it's okay to
Bamshi.
blow up the school.
And they say,
Chad.
Waluigi has KO'd Bowser in 5 seconds during a fist fight. Really?
In Mario Party?
Oh, in Mario Party. Survived having a hot air balloon filled with hundreds of bob-ombs land on him and explode while suffering only mild singeing.
Yeah.
I believe that's from like Mario Tennis or one of the soccer games.
Probably.
Yeah.
And he's crafty, which means he can easily trick Big. Waluigi's #1.
God damn it.
Quality
That's
pun.
good. I
Yeah,
love
but he
it.
can't make it into Smash Bros, so that's against him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Waluigi.
he's in there as an
I mean,
assist
but we are,
trophy.
we are
They
comparing him
beat
to
the hell out of it.
we are
That's better
comparing
than
him to
Big's done, and Sonic's already in there, along with Shadow and Knuckles as assist trophies.
Big
Yeah,
is voiced by
excuse.
John St. John, though, the voice of Duke Nukem.
Who was original
Was voiced.
Was.
in the first game,
Yes.
and then
Duke
John
Nukem
St.
gave it
John
up.
Decided,
Yeah, he's like-
fuck this, and left.
Yeah.
Okay, so Big is like one of the muscle characters from Sonic. He's often, I would say, like whenever they need somebody who's not Knuckles to just go lift something, Big's the guy who comes in and does it. So he's very much like the heavyweight kind of dude, but he's really dumb. He's not gonna, maybe not dumb, maybe more like naive and like passive. So he's not gonna
Yeah.
like,
He's a gentle
But
giant.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
would
I
you
agree.
even fight him? Like, look into his cold, dead
What?
eyes.
Which
Like, just
one?
look at that face.
Which
man.
one? Like I was looking into both of them.
Oh shit, yeah.
Waluigi.
Waluigi-
I never really looked into Waluigi's eyes
eyeshadow
before,
and
but they're
shit.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Waluigi doesn't have a soul. He would cut you without a second thought,
Plus,
or even
like-
a first thought.
I'm pretty sure that's not his nose. Like, I think he took that from someone.
No, it looks like a fleshy eagle talent.
Yeah, or like
it's
he got
weird.
it from like a sex shop and just like
Yeah.
attached it to his nose.
It- oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's
Okay.
weird.
I do agree. It does look like he just ripped the beak off a bird and shoved it on his
Yeah.
face. Which he totally could.
And his chin looks like the bottom of an ice cream cone.
Yeah, it really does.
Like you could just put like
Yeah.
rip off the top of his like leave the bottom jaw on, rip the rest off, and you could just put a little dollop of ice cream there.
What
and
if
it would be
Waluigi?
completely fine?
What if his whole body is just made up of like the remains of those he's defeated in combat? Like that nose clearly doesn't belong. That mustache is not the same color as his actual hair. He stole that from someone he
Oh,
killed.
you're right.
His eyes. What's up with the blue?
I mean,
Like
he likes
eyeliner?
to add a little bit of, some shade, make his eyes pop. A little bit.
Before he pops a cap in them.
Yes.
I think Waluigi just because he's cooler. And you've seen him in Mario Tennis and stuff, and he's got all these cool games where he kicks balls on fire and shit. Like, just give it.
I'm going to go with Waluigi's craftiness factor. I
Yeah.
think he will absolutely be able to trick
I feel like Waluigi has access to bombs as well, so you could probably
I mean,
just
if
wait.
he brings them with him, I guess. I don't know if he's
Yeah,
got
I
them in
don't-
his pockets, but
I feel like he's thrown them in certain games and stuff.
I can't remember in the argument for Big. Was there a durability feat? Because I'm trying to compare strength and stuff. Like Big is naturally probably stronger, but Waluigi.
no, there really isn't. I don't know. Big the Cat's durability.
His trope is like he's the big tough tank, right? Like what he lacks in speed, he makes up for in strength.
I mean, he's always put in the same position that a character like Knuckles would be in. So
sure.
while it might be a bit of a stretch to scale him to Knuckles, that's probably what we could do.
we would need to actually look into it.
I don't know if you would necessarily be able to put him at the same level though, but at least compare him in a way.
Look, Waluigi.
He's definitely one of the toughest characters in the Sonic universe in terms
Yeah.
of just getting hit.
If Waluigi steals that frog, Big will follow it wherever it goes.
That is true.
Waluigi takes him to like one good trap, and I think Big the Cat's probably done. I'm gonna say Waluigi.
Me too.
Is
I feel
everybody
like-
gonna be Waluigi?
I feel
'Cause
like
I'm
if
going
you were gonna go, it's like he's pretty much just Big the Cat. There, this one is pretty much like a slower, shittier Knuckles in their world.
Yeah, basically.
And then if we can go big shot, so I can point at this picture, please. This one over here.
Go to the big shot.
Big shot. Thank you, broadcast, for putting up with my piece of shit ass. This one over here is just a craftier Luigi. And so I think, based on the transitive properties, my friend Crafty Luigi here would definitely take down Big the Cat.
This is, again, it's astounding that you aren't a chemist.
Also, Big the Cat. Never mind, I'm passing on that joke. I'm already going to back out on it.
All right, sounds good. Let's see, Ben.
All right, yeah, and I'm voting Waluigi too. I think
Unanimous?
Waluigi also has a durability feat that might be equal to Big or higher with that explosion in the stadium. Pretty
Yeah.
sure it was in a stadium. So
I think that was the opening cutscene in Mario Tennis 64, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Pretty sure you're right.
Or maybe GameCube. I don't
it's
know.
one of them. I remember looking at that ages ago. So I'm gonna go Waluigi. He's
Plus,
also super
the
sneaky,
ladies
super
never
fast.
tweet about Big the Cat. I see them tweeting about Waluigi all the time.
Nobody's fighting for Big to show up in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what you guys had to say in the poll.
By the way, we pre-recorded this episode.
Yes.
So if you're listening to this message, we're already dead.
Nailed it. Everybody's right. Fuck you, Big the Cat.
Why did we vote for Big the Cat? Why do we have a vote there?
Wait, we voted?
Pity
Look,
vote.
there's a check
We
mark.
pity voted.
Who voted on our account?
Gerardo?
Who's rigging this election?
I mean, there was 1,001.
The Russians are meddling.
The Russians have
1,101.
gotten on the
Yeah.
hold of our Twitter account. All right, so Waluigi wins pretty solidly.
Convincingly.
All right, yeah.
Pretty
You're
big.
gonna make some pun
I'm
there.
trying
like-
to think of a word that
Yeah.
could like fit. With
Waluigi wins big.
Oh, that was good.
All
There
right.
you go.
The next community death battle, which you can let us know who you think wins using hashtag DeathBattleCast, and be here live on Friday to vote for the poll to see who should win, or let us know who should win, is going to be a matchup we've talked about, potentially doing a death battle, maybe, like off and on. Deathwing, World of Warcraft, versus King Ghidorah from Godzilla, in honor of the Godzilla trailer that came out. And Ghidorah's going to actually be in an American movie.
Dragon fight.
Yeah, so big ass, world destroying dragon fight. Very excited to see what you guys have to say about this one. So let us know what you
Deathwing's
think
pretty ridiculous,
using
dude.
hashtag DeathBattleCast.
All right.
We will dive into that one next time. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're a first member, please be sure to tune into our Sudden Death first exclusive post show that we, what are we gonna, you said?
We're gonna make Nick watch Elfen Lied.
Oh yeah.
I think that might be a bit much. We'll talk
We'll
about
see.
it there
We'll figure it
when
out.
it happens.
All right. We'll
Gotta
see you
help.
then.
Bye.
Thanks guys.
I'm scared.